Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to do. What was that? What? Today I'm going to do a movie review on 手卷烟 or hand rolled cigarette. So, 2 days ago, me and two other friends of mine went to the cinema and watched a movie, and it is 手卷烟, hand rolled cigarette. And um yeah, I don't watch a lot of movies from Hong Kong, Hong Kong made movies, but ever since last year I've been trying my very best to watch as many Hong Kong movies as possible. I have a whole friggin' list inside my phone right now, and it's all Hong Kong movies that I have yet to watch. But anyways, Hong Kong movies were actually pretty damn good, even though at around the mid 2000s it had declined very significantly, and there pretty much aren't any significantly great Hong Kong movies released in the 2010s, which is really disappointing, and the movie industry of Hong Kong is slowly dying and crumbling. And a lot of filmmakers in Hong Kong, including me, are becoming more and more hopeless as Hong Kong is facing political dystopian measures which are suppressing the film industry in Hong Kong as well as the music industry in Hong Kong, where essentially if you make an unpatriotic film, you're gonna get arrested and the film will be erased from history. Anyways, I digress. The film industry of Hong Kong is in a very dire situation. And right now, 2021 is the time that Hong Kong needs to revamp its film industry the most. And we have 手卷烟, hand-rolled cigarette, directed by Kelvin Chan, or Chen Ginlong, also co-written by him. And it is a fully Hong Kong crime action thriller film. And first of all, it is essentially about a guy and another person, one local Hong Konger and another a South Asian. They were both criminals in Hong Kong, and they were working for a criminal organization boss, a mafia boss. They accidentally pissed him off, and they have to work together to escape the boss and otherwise defeat the boss somehow. So first of all, I'd like to say that the premise of this film is not really that creative or innovative or original or anything. There have been tons of movies in Hong Kong that deal with mafia and crime and crime organizations in general. Like if you watch Johnny To's movies, you would see a lot of crime mafia related movies, and this movie is pretty much kind of in the same vein. And I also watched a pretty lengthy interview between Kelvin Chan and another film critic in Hong Kong, and Kelvin Chan cited Johnny To as one of his bigger influences as well, so that figures. And then we have the performances, and they're not bad. Not bad at all. Even though there are some moments where the South Asian character acts, his name is Mani. There are some moments where Mani's acting, or the actor's acting, is a little bit awkward, but still overall the performance is not bad. There is always a sense of realism to the performance, which is really nice. And also some dialogues do come off a little bit awkward, but they do not botch down my enjoyment of this film at all. Now on to the good stuff, onto the pros of this film. First of all, I think the cinematography and the editing are really competent, surprisingly really competent, especially the color grading, which I myself am struggling with my own short film, but the color grading in this film looked fantastic. There is a lot of orange and teal. Sure, it's nothing groundbreaking. Again, a lot of Hollywood films in the past few years also look like this. So I'm just saying that the cinematography and the editing in this film is very competent and is basically Hollywood blockbuster level, or at least high quality level internationally. And I would also like to say that the pacing of this film is actually pretty good. Not once was I bored throughout this entire movie. The second act is a little bit slower, but I still find myself interested with the characters because the characters are actually really well written, especially for Mani's character. The main character is called Achiu or Chiugo, and he ran into Mani, the South Asian character, who also pissed off the same mafia boss. And Mani's character is actually really likable. We see the human side of him, we see him messing up, we see him scared, we see him trying to lie and fail. Like, he's a really human character, and uh, I immediately like him and root for him throughout the entire movie. And I also like the ending of the movie. I think it's pretty satisfying, it's pretty over the top, and clearly the climax of this movie is a straight up rip-off from the hallway fight sequence in Old Boy by Park Chan-wook. But that being said, though, I'd like to say that this is more of a tribute, an homage than a ripoff. But still, the ending, plot-wise, it's satisfying, and I'm satisfied overall. So yeah, while this movie doesn't really wow me or anything, it's not that memorable of a movie, and ultimately the cinematography, it's very competent, but again, not all that groundbreaking or anything. However, I'd like to say that Calvin Chan is a really promising filmmaker, and I hope that there is a bright future for filmmakers in Hong Kong. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. This movie, not bad, surprisingly. But is it great? Not really. I am giving Sao Gun Yin, or hand rolled cigarette, a strong 7 out of 10. So, have you watched this movie? From 1 to 10, I would just rate it, like and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. I will be watching two more movies, before this month ends, and these two movies are Perfect Blue and Rashomon.